You were always meant to listen to your inner voice. You were always meant to rely on your inner compass. And somehow along the way, life just beat it out of you. People shifted it out of you. And you chose others over yourself. Hey girl, hey, welcome back to Build Your Bold. I'm your host, Dr. O, the Bold Coach, and I have the honor of kicking it with you today for 10, maybe 15 minutes, and I never take that lightly. I was running to the train yesterday. I live in New York, so naturally that's something that you do on a daily basis, and my voice is a little, I don't know, raspy, or there's like something still going on after breathing in that super cold winter air. So my apologies if I am not in the best voice space today. But I wanted to talk to you today, girl, about how my week has gone, how things have been shifting for me, because I know that they are also shifting for you in this new year, in this time of new beginnings, of reflections, of aspirations. It can be a pretty confusing time because there's so much going on, but simultaneously you are seeking that clarity, you're seeking that confidence in knowing what your next step really could look like. And throughout this week, I was juggling a lot of different things. Definitely new beginnings was the trend, but I started my MBA, and previously it was something that I started and then fell behind on, and now I'm getting back on track and really just taking it seriously and embracing it alongside me building my coaching business and allowing it to really pour into that. And then simultaneously, I am working. I'm a physical therapist, so I work and I take shifts here and there, shifting into working a bit more. And then also, I opened up my calendar for confidence over coffee chats. All in the same week. And one of the conversations that I had was with a woman who came to me and she asked me, why do I always feel like I need to ask for permission before I make a move? Now, this is something that so many of you experience. And the true question underneath this question is, why don't I trust myself, my own decisions, my own thoughts, my own beliefs? You're constantly overthinking what your next move in your career should be. You get offered higher positions, but you're second guessing your ability to move forward. You're asking for other people to validate who you are, how much you're capable of, what you can and can't do. But this is not something that you were born with, sis. This is something that society has conditioned you to show up as, conditioned you to forget the power of your own intuition, the power of trusting yourself, the power of making a move and your nervous system not shattering and collapsing because of fear that you made the wrong one. In this episode today, I am going to make sure that you walk away with the clarity and knowing why you don't trust yourself, why you're always overthinking and hesitating and doubting your decisions, and how to keep this from holding you back in your next chapter of leadership, whatever that looks like. If you want to go after a promotion or go after a raise or even pivot into a completely different career, this is the episode for you. This is how you're going to get there. This is how you are going to level up in your life this 2026. So without a doubt, let's get into it. In order to understand why you don't trust yourself, you have to understand the psychological depth of what this truly carries. As you were growing up, you most likely were relying on your good grades, your degrees, being on the honor roll, and seeking that pat on the back from other people, whether it be your teachers, your mentors, coaches, and even your parents. As you developed, your brain, your psyche associated performance and achievements and approval from other people as a means of survival, as a means of approval. Because centuries ago, back in the caveman times, this was a matter of life or death. If people did not agree with you, who you are, what you stood for, if they were against you in any way, you were kicked out of the tribe, sis. And being kicked out of the tribe meant literal death. This is why when you hesitate or you doubt or you're unsure and you're waiting for approval, your heart races a little bit. Your chest might feel heavy, your palms get sweaty, and you feel unsettled. This is your nervous system literally signaling that you may or may not die. It is a internal wiring that has not caught up with the evolution of mankind, and it is still silently, secretly holding you back. This is how it shows up in your life today. You procrastinate making moves even when you know what you really want to do. You stay in jobs or relationships far too long because you feel like you should, or that somehow you should be grateful for where you're at even though you know that you are meant for more. You overperform at work and you clock in and out longer than everyone, and you work harder on projects and delivery and meeting milestones, and you're exhausted at the end of the day because you're overperforming and it means to be praised. But because you don't get the recognition that you seek, you are constantly bitter and you secretly resent your peers and colleagues for not providing you with what they were never meant to give you in the first place. You see this not just in your career, but in your relationships too. You find it hard to find a man who actually cares and sees you for you. You feel like you either do too much or don't do enough, and either way you get rejected. This is how you know in your life that you have shifted your internal belief system from internal to an external hard drive. You were always meant to listen to your inner voice. You were always meant to rely on your inner compass, and somehow along the way, life just beat it out of you. People shifted it out of you, and you chose others over yourself. Now, in this confidence over coffee chat that I was having with a potential client, by the way, if you want to chat with me further about things like this, seeking approval, why you're asking for permission all the time, why you just feel stuck in your life and behind other people, go ahead down to the show notes and click the link to join me and get onto my calendar for Confidence Over Coffee's chat, which I'll be doing at the end of this month, January 31st on Saturday. If you are not able to identify how these trends are impacting you in your life and what the real origin comes from, that is what leads you to feel confused. That is what leads you second guessing. That is what causes self-doubt. That is what keeps you back from making serious gains in your life. That is why you're tired. That is why you feel like there's something more to your life, but you really can't put your finger on it. It's because your trust mechanism is completely out of whack. And this right here, this is how you get it back. Building it, using the bold method every single day. What part of the bold method, Dr. O? We're going to get into that. So in the L of the bold method, lean into your future self. You have to understand, what decisions have I not made yet? And which ones are preventing me from my next level? You have to build that awareness, and you have to see that difference from where you are now and who you are becoming, and what no longer fits? What doesn't match the bigness of who you are becoming? What tendencies, what questions, what doubts? Ask yourself this. When you go to make a decision and you feel the need to ask 4 or 5 people, your best friend, your uncle, your mom, your dad, your cousin, your coworker, before you ask someone, ask yourself this. Would my future self, who's already done the damn thing, ask like Tim, Bomb, and Sally? Would she? Or would she boldly go after what she wants? Would she confidently make a move and trust in the fact that she would be okay on the other side of that? This is what 2026 is calling you into. This is what the world needs more of you for. Trusting in yourself, being confident in who you are and where you are going, having that inner awareness and happiness and just peace in knowing that everything that you want is already happening because you chose to listen to your inner voice, because you listened to Dr. O and her podcast and you implemented the bold method, or you went on a confidence over coffee chat and got clarity on where you were headed. This is the work. This is that more that you've been called into. And I don't know how many times I have to show up on the mic for you to understand, for you to wake up, for you to be lit up within you and start moving and start deciding and start shifting and stop proving and stop performing and just start owning that all the answers lie within you. You have all of the ability to be all that you want to be. And it starts here. So move before fear gets a vote. That's a quote from my book, Born Bold. And instead of asking yourself, is this the right move? Ask yourself, how long am I willing to hold off on the life that I know I deserve? I trust that you will make the right decision. I believe in you. It's time to move. It's time to be bold. And I can't wait to walk alongside you through it. I'll see you in the room. Bye. If this episode shifted something in you, share with a friend, leave a review, and make sure you're following the show. Remember, your next chapter isn't waiting. It's yours the moment you choose to build it boldly. And if you're ready to step into it with clarity and confidence, head to theboldmethod.co and let's build it together, sis. See you in the next episode. Bye.